windy, so but I'm very excited. My feet feel so much better, and I had such a good experience at Mountain Valley Retreat. So I will say more about that later. But for now, I'm just gonna walk in the wind. Wish me luck. Climb all the way up into those hills. Woo! New cactus alert. Look how tall it is. Very spiky. At least it's not raining. So bad, it's like knocking me off balance. Girl! Alright, so I set up camp for the night. It was very windy today. The weather said that the gusts were anywhere from 30 to 65 miles an hour. And I believe it, because there were a few gusts that kind of like knocked me into the mountain a little bit, just kind of caught me off balance, but everything was fine. And tomorrow is supposed to be very windy too. But yeah, I had a 000 day. I meant to record this while I was there, but didn't really get the chance. I was just enjoying my time there. But I stayed at Mountain Valley Retreat, which is around mile 100 in Ranchita, and I had such a good time. It was so nice there. Sherry and Lynn are amazing, and there were cats there. No, I'm gonna cry because I miss my cat. But I ended up being in Julian. I stayed overnight, and then I went directly to Mountain Valley Ranch and came back to Scissors Crossing today to finish up. So I'm kind of technically walking back there. But I definitely learned a lot in kind of resting my feet. My blisters will be okay. My foot's still a little sore from walking sideways on the mountain a little bit, but I think it'll be fine. But yeah, I learned a lot about like pacing myself, which I know I kept talking about, and I know it sounds really silly. And it was kind of a good thing that my feet were so upset. I think is a blessing in disguise, because that 14-mile day and that 11-mile day, I was definitely pushing myself too far, and I knew better, but I also didn't want to camp in a mountain lion zone. And I think that the validation of hiking 14 miles and being like, oh cool, I still got it, I was exhausted, and by the time I would go to bed, there was just no gas left in the tank, and then I would wake up and, you know, that gas is pretty depleted. And I think it was really good that I took some time, took a few days off to just, you know, get my head on straight. And I get at the time rushing into Julian that I didn't want to be in the mountain lion zone, and I was also really excited about getting my new shoes. It was also really, really hot out, so it ended up being like somewhere in the mid 80s that day that I got in, and in the sun, in the heat, it's so much hotter than that. And so I heard later that there were hikers reporting that it got to be over 100 degrees, so that was ultimately a good thing, because I don't think I could have walked the next day in that type of heat. And one of the things that I learned out here was that we should approach hiking as is we're not trying to walk to Canada, we're really just trying to walk to the next town. And I think that was starting to get in my head too, of just trying to go a little faster. Because one of the things I am worried about is crossing the Mojave, like probably in June. And it's really hot in the desert in June, and I'm worried about it. But it's also understanding that I'll be hiking faster and like more mileage at that time too. But I think I was just, just trying to rush it. And it's also understanding that there are people who start at the Mexican border in May, and they're going to be crossing the Mojave in like July. So if they can do it, I can do it. And so it's really, I think, now about focusing on just getting to the next town. And then when I get there, I will figure out to the next town and to the next town and so on. Oh, also the Mojave is like mile 600 or something like that. And I'm not even at 100 yet. So it's a little dramatic to be getting hung up on it, I think. The other thing I think I was doing too was just getting caught up in the metrics, because a lot of times when we talk to other hikers out here, we'll be like, oh, where are you coming from for the day? Or like, where did you start? Or how many miles did you do? And I think it's kind of hard being out here and not, I don't know, I just like data and I like, that kind of stuff. I'm tracking all the miles that I'm doing. But I think me being a slower hiker is not really how it is, like at work, for example. I think I'm used to being kind of an overachiever, but out here I'm slower than everyone else. And I knew that, and I know that, and that's okay. That's the point. I'm still having a good time, and my goal is not necessarily to get to Canada like their goals are. My goal is to walk till October. Which is really far away. So, and then, yeah, if I don't finish, I could just come back another year, or maybe I get there and I decide like, I'm good. It's still pretty far away. And I've met a lot of other hikers out here too, who are just section hiking and, just out here having a good time. So I think I'm doing a better job at just getting recalibrated to that. So yeah, now that I'm a little recalibrated and not so much focusing on performance benchmarks, it's like the corporate America brainwashing. Yeah, right now I left Scissors Crossing today after my 000 day, and I'm walking to Warner Springs, which is at mile 110, and right now Scissors Crossing is at 77, and so I'm gonna deliberately take 4 days to get there. I'm gonna get used to my new shoes. I'm gonna take my time. Could I get there faster? Yeah, but that's not really what I'm trying to do. I'm just walking till October. So that's it. That's my story. Tomorrow's gonna be windy too. So I just wanted to have the opportunity to say this, and I feel good about it. And thank you everybody for who's been supporting and texting, and you guys are so nice, and people out here are so kind too. So, ooh, that's a cool bird. But yeah, anyway, thank you everyone, and that's my story for the day. But I hope you have a nice day. Bye. No, yeah. Oh my gosh. Day 16, I think, of the Pacific Crest Trail. It was very windy last night. I'm so grateful that my tent didn't collapse. There we go, my first gear breakage of the trip. She'll be okay though. The wind is definitely much worse today. There was a little wrap around a hill that I had to stop and like hunch down. But that's what makes life interesting. At least it's not raining, right? All right, I'm gonna film it, because every time I come around one of these turns, it's very aggressive. All right, so new game plan. I have to walk along this ridge line for like another almost 3 miles. And that's when I get to the water cache where the water is. That was a great story. I was gonna hike a little farther than that, but because all the campsites are on this ridge line and the water cache campsites are a little better, I'm gonna stay there and just have a short day. But it's not really that short because I've got to like walk on this ridge line right in the wind the whole time. It's an interesting day for sure. I found the cutest little camp spot. Look at that. A little private area. And then, look at that little tree fort. So I only did 6-something miles today, but 6-something miles is really good. And I'm protected from the wind, and tomorrow is another day. But I feel good today, and I still have plenty of gas left in the tank, so that's a good thing. Fortunately, this campsite has cell phone reception because I'm here really early, and I think I would be really bored. Oh, and another thing that I'm trying to learn to do after last night's wind, especially, is learn how to pitch my tent, which I know sounds silly because I've been here for more than 2 weeks, but this is my first time owning a tent that is not a freestanding tent. So I'm used to the ones that have the poles and then you set them up, but this one sets up with my hiking poles. And so it's a little different, and especially in the wind, I noticed that some of the guy lines were coming loose. And so if anybody knows how to do it, please let me know any tips and tricks, but I'll show you what I did today. So this is her. I think I did a good job. But some of the areas here were coming loose, and even though it has like a little cord lock on here, it wasn't really working. So I tried doing just a really loose tie around them, and I also have a bunch of rocks like I had yesterday. But yeah, if anyone has more talent than me when it comes to setting up a tent, which is pretty much everybody, please let me know, because yesterday was very windy and I would love to not repeat that. Though I can say the tent didn't fall. So she did good. She did a good job. So that is my story for now. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow. Bye.